Live on the side. Yo, relax.
Alright, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
You know, when the Hebrew Israelites come in every week out to prophesy the downfall of America and to curse this wicked system out and to herald the coming of Yahweh Shai and Mashiach, the one the world ignorantly, Yahweh Shai, the one the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ is today in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai and Mashiach. Right? Yahweh means he exists. And Yahweh Shai means he is the deliverer, he is our salvation. That's right. But then face the east and give out praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash.
And double honors to the apostles and the elders and the bishops of Great Millstone and New World. Right? Salutation to the brothers all over the world, preaching the truth, waking up our people to the divine heritage, and cursing out people because they wouldn't get the spirit right this north, aqua, the sun, and the shalom. And to the brothers that will look at the other nation, shalom, but they will chill at that Gms camp, unity camp again together. The scripture here, you will know good enough pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. You understand? Which really, when it all break down to everything, it's just one camp. Right? What it is. But tonight we have a little something with coming in the spirit, because I've been hearing it, the apostles and them rebuking it. I mean, we had said it a long time ago, but we'll get a little bit of to edify you young brothers to let you all know that when the scripture says do not abhor an Edomite, we really mean do not abhor a Syrian. We're going to go through the breakdown and explain you why, you know, it is so. Right? But somebody give them Malachi 1 to start off with, and you know, brothers, anything ready? Malachi, Malachi chapter 1, to start from verse 1. Yeah, Malachi 1 and 1. You see, Yahweh Shai, he said yesterday, today, and forever, when the Lord gave you word, he don't take it back. He won't tell it to do something, and yet still come and tell you, love that same person. It doesn't work that way. So we want to know why the Lord says do not abhor Edomite. The Lord didn't say that, but why they put it that way. Alright, so you have it? Yeah.
Malachi chapter 1 and 1, chapter 1 verse 1 says the burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
Right, you see, the Lord said, I have loved you. But who is the you? The you is Jacob, the Israelite. The Lord loved Israel. The Lord loved Israel from the womb. The Lord, when they went to something in Romans chapter 9, you know what I'm talking about, Khan?
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 13. And it reads, as it is written, Jacob I have loved, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Right, and if you go down a little bit, there's a part where he said for the children not yet born, haven't done any good or evil that the good of God might verse 11.
Yeah, that's verse 11.
Bring it from the can.
Verse 11, Romans chapter 9 and verse 11. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good nor evil, that the purpose of power according to election might stand.
So the purpose of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, power according to his election might stand. So the Lord already made a separation from the womb. From before the woman you were not right for this thing. Because the spirit was, to begin with, the two spirits was before the presence of the Lord to begin with. Right? And the Lord knew what spirit was of good and what spirit was of evil.
Read over
from 9. This is Romans chapter 9 and verse 9. For this is the word of promise.
Right?
At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son.
Right.
Verse 10. And not only this, but when Rebekah also conceived by one, even by our father Isaac.
Right.
Verse 11. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil.
So the Bible says even that the children are not even born yet. Neither have they come into the world to do evil or good. Well,
that the purpose of power according to election might stand.
Meaning that the Lord's purpose of He doing things might stand. His will be done, not our will. His will be done. Everything that is being done is the Lord's will. For we coming here in slavery, that was the Lord's will. You understand? For Esau being over us and all is the Lord's will. And for we getting back the kingdom, it is the Lord's will.
That's right.
Well,
Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 18 and starting at verse 2. The Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai only is righteous. The Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai only is righteous.
So who is the righteous one? Only the Lord. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, He's the only righteous one.
And there is none other but He.
And there is none other but Him. So that is why His way is perfect. We striving to get to that perfection, but His way is perfect.
Who governed the world with the palm of His hand.
Who governed the world with what?
With the palm of His hand.
Of His hand.
And all things obey His will.
And all things obey His will.
For He is the
scripture from everyone. Oh, and they okay,
For He is the King of all.
For He is what?
For He is the King of all.
For He is the King of all. Well,
by His power, dividing holy things among them from profane.
Right? And the thing about this truth, as the brother just read in the last verse, is that when they come to this truth here, this truth is all about separating the clean from the unclean, the holy from the profane.
That's right.
Everything goes back into the law now. That when the scripture says to the law and to the testimony, if you speak not according to this word, there is no life in you.
Right, because there's a scripture in Romans that says, who knows the mind of the Most High? Right? Who knows the mind of the Most High? This is what is being declared, the mind of the Lord. That's right. Right? So the world by nature doesn't know the mind of the Most High. Right? Isaiah, the prophet said what? My ways are not your ways, my thoughts are not your thoughts. My thoughts are higher than thou. That's right. Right? So this is what the prophet or the priest is supposed to be teaching. The way of Yahweh. We have the way. We have the way, right, in the law. We have the way in Yahweh. Yahweh try to say, like, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Right? But these people don't go by the way. Right? So why had they pulled back up on it when I was reading Romans 9 and 11? And because this is it. The Lord is actually declaring his mind. Is that before the children were born, they didn't have to do good or evil. Their purpose was already set. The divine purpose was set. In the book of Isaiah, Yahweh is described as what? The potter. Right? But
Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 33 and verses 10 says, and all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth. In much knowledge the Lord had divided them.
Yeah, in much knowledge the Lord had divided them. That's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 4. Right? This is your wisdom in the sight of the nation. They that did cleave unto the Lord are alive, everyone this day. So who is the nation that was able to cleave unto the Lord? Only the nation of Israel.
That's right.
For only the nation of Israel had the ways of Yahweh. Right? These other nations never had the way. Elam never had the way. How we know that Elam, Moab, Ham, Japheth, none of these nations had the way. Right? Just basically because the land never brought, there's one way, is that the land never brought forth its increase for these nations. Right? When you're going to these nations, you see their delicacy, their national dishes, as we say, is abomination. Right? Whereas the Most High gave us all the true delicacy. The lamb to do an offering. Right? The scripture say what the smell and the smoke of the fat is what like a sweet savor to him. Right? Back then. Right? Also in this time the sweet savor, which we, come in instead of our master Yahushua. Right? The scripture say our prayers is like a sweet savor to him. Right? Yahushua was the lamb that took away the sin of the world. Of the world, let's say. Not the earth, of the world. Right? Which world? Cosmos. That's right. The universe. When they come to the universe, they come back to the cosmos. Yasha Allah. Right? That's the word. Right? Through this priesthood, the earth was serviced. Right? Going back to the time of Adam. Right? And this is what's happening again. The earth, the management, the earth has been mismanaged. So the management is going to be changed. What do you think? I think nobody didn't read it.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 and verses 24.
Wow.
But the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world, and a wise king is the upholding of the people.
The multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world. What the scripture say what? Is the welfare, right? What the scripture says, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. Right? So, yeah, so the multitude of the wise. So it's a wise what? This is a wise nation. Right? We're supposed to be the wise nation. But that we fell away from that. We should say, I planted the noble vine. How has God become a what? A degenerate branch. Right? Degenerate is to generate means to grow, right?
Right.
Right? We're not growing in wisdom, we're not growing in strength, we're not growing in prosperity. Why? Because what? We cut off from the branch. And who's the branch? The branch, the literal branch is the Hawashai. Right? Go ahead.
Disappear. They Sirach 19 and 18. The fear of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, is the first step to be accepted of him, and wisdom obtaineth his love. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life.
Is it what?
Is the doctrine of life.
The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life.
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to go into Baruch chapter 4, but Rashid, I'm going to Baruch chapter 4 to back up his time fast.
I hear.
Yeah. Oh, you have it?
Yeah. I hear. Baruch chapter 4.
Start from verse 1.
Walking in.
That's about
Baruch chapter 4 verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever.
And the Lord that endureth forever. Go ahead.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
So that's about to be. All that keep this will come to life.
But such as leave it shall die.
And such as leave it shall die. So it goes back to what the brother Barra was saying. We are supposed to be a wise, understanding people. We are supposed to be running things. He said, now how we come and degenerate plan of a strange vine unto the Lord. How is Esau ruling on top of us? And we beneath. How did this whole thing happen? And then they will come and say that do not what forward either mind, because they don't understand the understanding.
What they say they don't understand, right? Yo, tell about them Israel, when your friends is not Israel. And how you know that is an Israelite? For example, we come out here, you might look at somebody, might speak to somebody that look like an Elamite. Elam. They start to ask some questions and they will tell you, how you see it? My father is a Jake. My father is a big dirty sister. My neighbor, what's my neighbor? Our neighbor, President B. You come there, right? He even have an Elam Nashville, right? But his vibration is pure Jake. His compassion, his mercy is pure Jake, right? And then the spirit hit me and I asked him. I told him, I asked him, I said, wait now, your mother, right? Because what he started to do, he started to tell me about how his father was saving up for years to buy land and build a house, right? And he died never being able to do that. And he was talking about how his father was wicked. Wicked, his father, never do nothing. He mother. Who that song like? Not like Jake? Right? And then he have his last name. I don't know how his last name, right? But it had singing it. Right? And then he swear just hit man and say, hey, I say your mother give you her maiden name. He said, yeah. But he tell me his father is a Jake. You understand? Like the wickedness of a woman.
Yeah, like the artist Super Captain.
Yeah.
William Maraj got from his mother. Yeah. His father is a Jake.
Yeah. Look at how he and Junadimas and Nicodemus and all of them vibes and them was like the same beat. The style, everything was the same. He could never be a Elam. He could never be a Elam. Them whole rhythm, he man and time, Elam out of time. You understand? But the point is that if somebody like I like if IYC was to meet my neighbor, the first thing they will say he's an Elamite. Yeah. The first thing they will say, because they judge by appearance, they don't judge by spirit. They can't recognize. You know the scripture in First Corinthians chapter 2 say, the spiritual man, what?
Natural man cannot receive the things of the spirit for their spiritual deserve.
Right? They're spiritually deserved. It's more than just asking you to who your parents are. Because somewhere along what the scripture said about endless genealogy and confusion of faces. Right? It's more than just what you can see or what you can ask. Right? You can go to what these different apps. They have these apps with them where you can get a whole family tree. Right? You can go to Barbados, Ancestry.com. Barbados have a wall. Barbados have a wall where slaves pass through. They have a record of the different slaves that went to the different islands and whatnot, like Barbados is a hub. Right? So the brother for Charles and the one who talked about that one. Yeah, can. When I was on Staten Island, or the island was Statue of Liberty. It was Staten Island. Right? Yeah, correct. Right? And you know you can do that and you can follow. You can follow. Right? But what's more important is the spirit. Because we really know how to figure out all of that, you know. Because what really defines it, what the scripture in Romans says, Romans 8 says, the spirit bears witness with our spirit that we are the sons of Yahweh. We are out here for the elect, but what we do is we have to preach the word. Just preach the word. All our duties to preach the word. Our duties is to bring camps together. It's to do a whole nation of rising. That's our duty. Right? I want you to just preach the word. Just preach that but there's a living sacrifice. It must never be said that Lord, we didn't see, we didn't hear, we were not there that what we made ourselves as spectacle for these people who rejected Yahweh. Right?
The book of Matthew chapter 13, we're close to the point here. It says in verse 28 and 29, he said unto them, an enemy had done this. The servant said unto him, will thou then that we go and gather them up?
Yes, because the context of this is what? That while men slept, which is what we went into slavery, right? There's another precept, right? That tares were laid amongst the wheat, which is what? Other nations, right? We was what the scripture said, one nation had not a hand in our captivity. One of the main ones was who Esau Edom in this time. But before that, guess what? You have so-called Negro-looking people, right? That just might be heard. They're all into the drums. I see some Jake, you have a right now, he's on TikTok, you have a Jake there, he wrist loose, and he beating the tassa. He beating the tassa, he not with a section down here. You understand? Yeah, the man real bad. But drums is never our thing. When they go into the scriptures, Israel dealt with instruments of 10 strings. The symbol, you know, like how you see the Hindus coming with the clinging symbol. Right? Yeah, the palstry, right? Right? We deal with instruments and strings. We didn't deal with drums. Drums, it never was about the drum. The drums, it says we shoot again. I want it. Yeah. The drum was ham. Right? So you can have other nations amongst us. The main enemy that's sown amongst us is Esau. Right, go ahead.
Verse 29. But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them.
Yes, while ye gather up the tares, you root up the wheat with them. No, when they go into the apostle was going into a couple of weeks ago, he went into fancy building, right? And basically, what the Edomites used to do, right? Their seed that came up, they used to kill them as house slaves. They never used to really face the fields, right? So they actually can come out better. So you see some Jakes in higher society, you see Jakes, you know, for us, our Hollywood or our valley is what? Westmoreland, right? Well, I'll call these names, I call Woodland Valley for the brothers and and especially the upper echelons, right? The valley hills and whoever. Them trust fund, you have Jake trust fund and go through like the Boule and all that kind of thing. They had to pay to go through them schools, right? But they had inheritance, right? Because their fathers was fucking Edomites. You understand? They were the offspring of Edomite, right? So they're better off, and they look like you. They might kind of speak like you when I say so accent or whatever. You know, they would have a so-called better education or go to the so-called better because the world was really better. The world was really better. Wicked, you understand? But you know when you go to a convent, when they go to college. Because why? When they go to that so-called school, they teach you English and different form. They teach you the etymology of English. They teach you English, they teach you French, they teach you these different languages, Latin, right? So you have a proper understanding of the word, even the pronunciation. That's why you get that roll off different. Because these people understand, but they don't really understand it like how we understand it, because we understand it the same way. But we not change or move by it to move or speak in a different type of tone. We still going to speak. We prefer to speak in Hebrew. We would like to be all Hebrew connoisseurs. You understand? Talk English.
Well, I know we don't.
I know we don't. You know? Right. But these people are amongst us and they look like us. So as you go into the lesson, you know about Edomite, go about Edomite.
But why did it say so?
Why did it say so? Right? And what was the etymology of that word? Right? Now guess what? How you know who Israel is? You know who Israel is by chastising that they're going to do. So these people that he's speaking about, did they go to the same chastisement? No, they didn't. You know they did.
Because they're not as trouble as
other men. Other men. Right? You see, I had one line. But somebody came out in verse 3, verse 2. Right? And Jeremiah 21 and 14. 21 and 14.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
And what you say will punish you for all your iniquities? When you go back to the curse in Deuteronomy 28, it said what? These curses shall be upon thee for a sign upon thee and thy seed forever. But that forever was an eternity, right? Or perpetuity, right? That forever was for a point in time, right? Because what did she say? And Daniel said, but a kingdom and dominion was promised to Yahweh Shai forever and ever and ever. Nobody's going to take that kingdom from you, right? And the saints of the Lord shall take the kingdom. Right? And what the way it says is Romans 8. Say what we shall be joint heirs with the Yahweh. So the kingdom is ours. Right, go ahead,
Jeremiah 21 and verse 14. But I will punish you according to the fruit of your doings.
You will what? Punish the Israelites according to the fruit of their doings.
Saith the Lord.
So their chastisement signifies who they are. Who were the people that came to the Western Age via slave ships?
Nobody else.
Who were the ones that was killed as what? The so-called Aztec, Mayans, Caribs, Arawaks. The Lord said he will send a stranger and they show it in the movie Apocalypto at the end of Apocalypto. What did they come? The ships came in and it was bearing the standard of the eagle. They was bearing the standard of the eagle.
But the Bible don't lie, the Bible correlates to it.
You know, they took the historians, they took an interpretation, they read it, interpreted, and they put a visual representation of scripture. So there's a language being spoken. You're watching the movies and you know that term entertain. Are you not entertained? We're not here to entertain you. That term entertain coming up very much plenty in the scripture right now. Rap. Entertain coming up rap. Rap means much. Right? They're coming up plenty. We're not here to entertain you. Right? Esau giving you movies and you are being entertained, but there's history, there's a language, like if you can't hear what they speak sign language. Right? They're speaking language in visual in optics. Right? At the end of Apocalypto, when he was coming with his white Jaguar 4 and his wife and the baby and his son, and they look. What they saw the ships with the conquistadors and had a man stand up here with a star and an eagle was on top. Somebody gave from Deuteronomy 28. I should send a strange nation. Yeah, go ahead. You have it?
Yeah, I was going to tell you.
Babakosha.
This book of Deuteronomy 28 and 49. says, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall bring a nation against thee from far.
He shall bring a nation against thee. Against means what? Adversary. Adversary is against, right? Adverse nation. Go ahead.
From the end of the earth.
From the end of the earth.
As swift as the eagle flies.
So this is a description. This is like a verb. Oh no, adverb or describe. You know what? Adjective. Adjective. So what? Fuck English. It's an adjective, right? As swift as the eagle, because they came down. Even when they took Reuben and Gad, they came with what the Gatling gun. The Gatling gun was what them bullets coming what swiftly, right? You know, but the very standard, the standard of the eagle go back to what the Romans.
And they want to Moses make sure and tell you as swift as the eagle flying. You want to make sure and record that thing.
Like 70, 80, and it's also called the Edomite son coming and taking you up and coming over here. Even with the 10 tribes and also taking you over in South West Africa. It says, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
So it's a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Well,
So,
right.
when he called Kisseros, when he called Christopher Cologne, when he moved with a Hebrew translator, he moved with a sellout. Right? He had who forgot his Josephus? Josephus was a Hebrew. Josephus was one of us in the Roman era doing what? Recording. He was like a scribe. He was like a scribe. Right? So it's nothing strange.
No says it's being used in the movie 10 Commandments going into Josephus.
Yeah, that was one of the but they did Philo, yeah, that was not what I said. They had other historians like Philo, etc. Right? That they were like Socrates and some of these men were Jake. Aristotle. When you go into brothers, I don't know how deep brothers intellect is when you go into the Charles Genius lexicon. You see these names coming up as reference points. It's there, right there, especially in the Greek. When you go into the New Testament, these names, Terra's Genius Lexicon, is there. Their names there, right? That's where they reference and get these precepts from. But
God, it says, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle, and the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind.
So that's what? No prosperity. That's no prosperity. From then till now, Jake has not been prosperous.
Basically, is a 400 year start, a rig of the game with a 400 year start. Start.
I want to say that in the front, right? Jake hasn't had an independent or sovereign prosperity. Don't put it like that, because they would have Jake that sell out and they will get that increase. Right? They will sell out and get that increase, but at what price?
And I the same thing. You see the same thing myself and Imad. He was doing a video coming up to do the work scene on that same level, that same length, you know what I mean? Because when I look at it, you know, Jake envying the oppressor and choosing his ways and what have you, so forth, you know what I mean? Because as Imad said, they don't have the faith and they don't have the patience. Alright, and as I was saying also too, they don't have that spiritual eyesight, you know, to see why we in the position that we in, and also to see that this man, his position is coming to an end and we got next. They don't have that.
Exactly.
They don't have it. And they just, you know, they will do all sorts of unscrupulous things. Sit up here. They will do all sorts of unscrupulous things to reach in a position and have to continue doing it to stay in that position because they're watching.
Until the Lord put in his spirit and it pleases considering themselves.
Because what's
a drug, they turn to tattoo, they turn to defining temple more and more, and they destroy themselves.
What shall a man do to gain the whole world and lose his soul?
In the same scripture, you don't say what the kids don't do.
Destroy. And die the thing. And die the thing.
So like, with you son, what happened? She was destroyed.
God.
You understand?
Just had one the other day.
Her daughter.
With only one.
Right. Was destroyed.
God.
Right? They do it until they can't do it, until they can't do it.
There is no more.
And then they are destroyed.
God. And that's the thing, you know, because you can't watch Esau. You can't look at
it. There's a way on chicken right on top of
but it's that. You can't watch Esau and seeing Esau. You have to understand Esau is in his lot.
Exactly.
Right? Esau is in his lot. You not in Esau is in his lot. You in your lot. The scripture says the nation that is amongst thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
No, but still like you have a point in there. Bone. So Esau is in his bone.
Right.
He's in his lot, his bone. But his bone comes to our head.
And that same thing what I said. That same thing I said. And you see, they do not have the spiritual eyesight because you see.
Oh, I put it that's not so like who is blind like my silver. Like my silver Israel. And you can't see because what? They wasn't given, as I said, the eyesight. They was given unto the left.
They can't see it. So, you know, they're watching what Esau having, they're watching what how Esau, but the thing is, you know, they prosper. They prosper in wickedness. You understand?
I have a piece of thing, right? But on that point.
I have a quick piece of.
Right, but on that point, I want you to do too. And we're not the oppressor and choosing of his ways. Look up the way.
That is like 3 and 1.
Look up the one way. Right? Because,
It's on the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy not the oppressor.
Right.
And choose none of his ways.
Right.
Man, check you in our ways, right?
Yeah, because what we have the instruction, we have divine instruction. Right? There's a reason why the Lord will tell you not to envy and not to choose our way. Right? It is an envy, you know. Envy is envy, greed, jealousy. Basically, it's the same umbrella. Right? Covetousness, same umbrella. Right? You watch it. It has burned in spirit. Israel, we was kings and queens. Now we was kings back in Israel. Right? And no queens, for queen go back to the root of queen, which go back to whore. Right? But what we had women in water. Right? We had pillars of rest. That did their
diligent
road. Yeah, it was rest of the men. Right? What else?
It's in our ways. It's a manner, road, way, or path.
Right?
Wow.
Direction.
So here what? So in order to get that mammon, that money, to be prosperous and live that opulent lifestyle, you're gonna have to live in a certain type of manner. None of them affluent, rich entertainers, sportsmen, sportwomen, scholars amongst Jake in America or all around the world are allowed to share that wealth with their people.
Yeah, you boy with Michael Jackson.
Next one.
They have to add too because same stuff here. They was TD Jakes and really see kind of that basketballism. That's part of the ways.
That's part of the way. That's in manner.
Yeah.
In manner. That's in manner in which they live because they tell you, don't live like that again. Don't ever do your wrist like that again. Don't ever do it. Don't do your wrist like that again. Hello. Yeah. What I say now? What I say, right? Is that yeah, that way, right? What they'll tell you, in order to get our riches, all them will be masons or some lodge or some sex, and it's acceptable to be a homosexual. Even in Islam, there's homosexuality in Islam, right? So that's not the way. That's not the way. Yahweh Shai is the way, the truth, and the life.
Something. Yeah, what?
It's a course of life, of moral character.
Course of life or moral character. The word moral go back to the law.
This up here, right? This is Wisdom of Solomon 15 and 12. It reads, but they counted our life a pastime, and our time here a market for gain. For gain. For they say we must be getting everywhere, though it be by evil means. And this is the thing here. Alright. Jake is saying that a big part, a big chunk of Esau's riches, alright, what he have gained so far since from the Renaissance period to now, alright, was what? The trade, the buying and selling of slaves. Alright? We was a commodity.
Still up.
Right? Alright, right, correction.
Revelation 18, even in the going down of America.
Yeah.
When Revelation 18 say what? In the souls of men.
Right? So there's a situation here.
And what he's trying to take the soul without
see it. Without see it. Alright? So it says, you know, they make a gain. Alright? And this is the thing here. They're still making a gain off a Jake. Alright? They're still making a gain off a Jake by evil ways, and they're getting through. And Jake ain't seeing it.
That's the curse. The curse say what? They shall lend to you, and you shall not what? Lend unto them? Right? So that's it. We become now this greatest consumer. As in Israel, because what? Once you're not producing, you're consuming. You understand? So what Esau had done, yeah, you born and you have access to national pride. Look what happened in that country, in Nigeria, in Nigeria with the oil, right? Yeah, the land is rich in oil, right? But you see the Prime Minister and President plane the other day. France sees his plane, right? And they say, what do you want not to play? But therefore, the rulers of the people falling upon the riches, and the people are hungry and suffering.
Then I send Biafra land, I down to the south.
Right.
I down to the south, and I do a video on that.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So what is going on is that the people say, hey, what's the position? You have independent like me and you. Once we have oil in the backyard, right? We invested in drilling and selling oil. So that they can get back some. Because they say this is our oil, we born and grow here. Right? But so in other words, they get piece of the price. Right? But Jake can't do that. They cut off all systems. You see what look what the Minister of Finance did last week. The Minister of Finance last week said what every small business must register. And if you're found and you're not registered, you have to pay a $10,000 fine.
You talk about that going on in Africa, right?
What?
We're bitching in Africa, but
Right, because it's a policy. Because it's a policy of the council and the wicked. It's that they're not doing nothing strange, they're following the council and the wicked. Right? Yeah, you say what? If you're found out, after you pay that $10,000, sorry, if you don't pay the $10,000 and you're found out, it's 10,000 plus charge every day after being found out. Whatever your small business is. You understand?
Go ahead. The guys always bring that out. We tell them for like all the time sell on the street here.
Yeah.
Little carts and say all they will not be able to come and sell on the street. They wouldn't be, you have to be registered.
Alright, good. So what's your
when they go into it, I went into the law a little bit, the bill. I went into the bill a little bit, right? It's all about taxing.
It's all about taxing.
They'll back tax them. They will back tax them. What the curse say? The heaven above will be like iron and below you like brass.
Scripture, prophecy. Right? Because watch this, alright? Good. The market, when the market, notice it have some stalls on the outside of the market. Where you feel that for? They pass a law. So you see everything coming right wrong now and meeting and coming full circle. The reason why they put them stalls wrong the market, right? Remember if you saw the doubles man, if you saw who's selling the little bake, who's selling the pie, who this, who that, who that, who that, who the other, right? The government passed a law that anybody that's selling, that's not, yeah. Right? But they pass a law that anybody who's selling food stuff, you have to have a stall. You must have a stall. It cannot be no open air selling anymore. It can't be no more open air selling. So what they do, they put them stalls there. So if you want to sell your doubles or whatever, you have to come here now and pay a rent and pay a tax.
Control.
Total control. And if you don't, and as Big Brother Barrett just made mention, pursuant to what I think you didn't send the article. I think you didn't send the article on one of the WhatsApp group.
I didn't send you who that probably a shot.
A screenshot business. I wonder if I can find out.
A piece of your fair.
Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And what will ye do in the day of visitation, and in the desolation which shall come from far? To whom will ye flee for help, and where will ye leave your glory?
So you see the kind of time we live in, we live in some serious time. And like I was just saying, it's back in it's happening in Africa. You know what they're doing? They're telling the Africans and them now, all the plants that they have that have seed in it, throw it away and
come to them to buy their GMOs.
To buy the
Build snakes,
Yeah, to buy the GMOs. And the
president of fucking Kenya,
he
he's all into that shit, man.
And
fucking sell
so he's a Kushite.
yeah, he's a Kushite. But what they're doing to the fine in here, if you will be charged if they gotta find out you're exchanging organic seeds to your neighbor. Right? So like let me say you are natural orange or orange seed from right? And the God want to plant some citrus, and I have some organic seeds, and I give it to the God, and them gotta find out that we get in charge.
Yes, that when the Lord say what? Except the days be short, no flesh shall be saved. And we can definitely testify that it is short. You know we see in the church. Right? For example, everything plain out, you know, like
when the scriptures want to them to decree and righteous.
but I just read that. Like the Venezuelans, the Asherites that are across here, they come across with their skills. They have Asherite mechanics, they have Asherite AC men, they have Asherite masons, they have Asherite dentists, they have Asherite everything. But what they should say, it will be as from the lion and a BMSB. And you only put your hand on the wall and a silver and bit deep. You're going to get it anyhow you take it.
Like it's in 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, there was unhappy. See, there was unhappy, which is a great play of words by the Lord. You know, humor, there was unhappy because Asher means we're happy. He said there was unhappy. You go sail the sea, you cross the sea, and then what? You see plagues again.
The sarcasm. The sarcasm.
No, you got it.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 59. Thou as unhappy shall come through the sea and receive plagues again.
See plagues again. But they are the children of Israel. And them curses, just like plagues, curses, synonymous. Right? Curses, plagues were highlighted. Plagues that weren't found even in Egypt. Scripture talk about that. It's going to make them very wonderful upon you. So you can't run. You can't hide from the curses. The curses going to get you. And this is what happening to Jake, even with the closing down of the stores or Esau Edom coming in with his agenda. That is a part of the curses as well. the enemy seeking to get up above you even more higher by bringing in such agendas. Because he wants to have you, just like he has those AI technology under his full control. That's where he wants to bring you. He wants to bring you under that net, only for the internet of bodies, right? Having you under total control, knowing you everywhere about you, every move, everything about you. This is it. So if you didn't want to get out of this place, then something wrong with you. If you ain't seeing what's happening, right, you still seeing the light at the end of the tunnel within the Edom system, you are one of those foolish people that the scripture talk about.
I have a precept for you now.
You can add one here too. If you get it, bring all this here, we could.
The book of Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 15. And if you shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that you will not do all my commandments, but that you break my covenant, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague, that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart, and ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it. Yeah? You see? Yeah. You see?
Like this. The first question about that. Because if you're the farmer and the planter, right? You invest in, you have a granary, right? And you have the seed. You have a portion to plant back, and you're going to have a portion to sell, and a portion to consume, right? And they take all, they as being power over you, they take all your stuff. They put a decree or eat it. And they say everything that is yours is mine. For my use as my pleasure. Right? You know as the dependent on all of them. And that's what happens. We don't contract with the slaves.
The curses again.
And the curses.
You shall go to them for the Deuteronomy 28. You shall go to them for the want of all. Yeah, it's a curse. Yeah. As something again, there's Isaiah 36 and verse 6. Lord, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed.
Right. Prosperity as Egypt. Correct. Egypt broken. Right? The ship actually called it the shadow of Egypt. Because Egypt was prosperous on the time of Joseph. Right? Now we in this time here now. We're not in the original Egypt. America has cities called Memphis. Memphis is from what? Egypt. Right? It's a shadow of Egypt. Spiritually, it's the same bondage, it's the same oppression. Trinidad is a what? It's a province of Egypt, of Babylon. Same thing, Syria. All in one of these places we were held captive. Go ahead.
And it's so ironic because spiritually connected that what happened in ancient Egypt is what happening all over again. For example, money failed in ancient Egypt under Joseph. And what the people had to do? They sell the cattle, they gave everything until they had to give eventually themselves. They had to give over themselves onto the Egyptian army. And it's the same thing that is happening. Egypt is going to be basically a hell. Your grave. That's where you're going to die.
With all that taking place, the jamming still. With all that taking place, the jamming still.
The scripture say what they walk on in the darkness.
God.
They ain't stopping, but the elect. The Lord gave them that light to see. Well, guess what? This was happening.
One line of it.
They all walk in the imagination of the evil heart.
Yeah. The city could burn down.
One line.
Churchery could burn down. Yeah, you understand? They could lose their pension. Food could go sky high. Input could raise fuel prices 7 more times again. You understand? But bet your bottom dollar, 2025, when they announce the dates for Carnival Monday and Tuesday, the streets full of niggas, jamming still.
Because they worship and they go back us.
Watch it.
Let's finish it off here. Yeah. Isaiah 36 and 6, finishing off. It says, on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it goes into playing trusting, right?
Lean on, you're not to depend on. Lean on me when you're not strong. You know the song go?
And depending goes into worship. worship, you depend on these. From the time you depended on these people, worship, you are relying on these people, you worshiping these people, man. You understand? Because you're going to them for all, because we dependent on Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. Right? We dependent soon, we dependent on Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. So which means we'll be worshiping Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. You understand? And for all wants, needs and everything. And it's the same thing with you two-third niggas, dependent on the system for all wants and needs and everything. So you're worshiping the flipping system. Anyhow, go ahead.
We worship the beast. The scripture says. Have a beast that is set up in the earth today that you people are bowed to. So it's no hard thing for you to receive his mark. Because you already bowed the knee to the image.
That's right.
Reading on, it says, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him.
That's so ironic, eh? You don't set it up already.
You're going to really get pierced.
Physically get pierced.
Yep.
Trusting in the shadow of Egypt. Trusting in this wicked system.
That's why I say, Salakia, that's why I say one time I go down to Egypt for help. You understand? They never require of the Lord, which is the prophets. You know, they trust, they lead, because basically Jake like things free, you know. When you tell Jake again, coupons or the books was shine on recently, there's traffic on the highway. They can't even clear, they can't even pass over the walk. Anything Jake anything free. So if you're hearing alright, 1,000 you get for the seat or $2,000.
2,000 UBI.
2,000 UBI for the again, you know, and then the serious because it's mandatory. It become mandatory. We're going to go on with them. They're going to run and take it and say, yeah, that's new technology. They're going to line up. This is new technology and everybody, you know, up to date with. Everybody want to be up to date, and that's the thing where they use all these artists, these distractors to have them thinking like, yeah, we need the latest, we put on latest brands, we put on, you know, the Bergen bag, Dior, you know, Gucci. So when you see the RFID, they go say, all right, this is the AI technology that bringing that money. You understand? That new way of money now, because we heading into that time. You understand, where everything becoming, you know, updated, digital.
Isaiah 9 and 13. For the people turned not unto him that smited them, neither do they seek Yahweh, power of hosts. Therefore Yahweh will cut off from Israel head and tail, branch and rush in one day.
Jake always trying to circumvent the true path to success. You see, we also seek prosperity. We also seek a way out. We're not saying to just stay here and wallow away in Egypt. We're not saying that. We know that there's a prosperity to come. We know that this is not the end of the scripture. This is not the end where much glory do it abide. There is a glory to come. There is an upliftment of our nation. There is one day you will have everything you need. You will have all your things. You understand? Like, you know, this Jake even saying today, good girl must get things. You understand? What things? Jake want things. We need a thing. And that just like in ancient, when we left ancient Egypt, what the Lord told us, all right, go and borrow from the Egyptians. Just meaning take what the Egyptians had. So likewise, when we in this Egypt here, when the Lord finally delivers us, all the riches, as prophesied, Isaiah 60, Isaiah 61, we're going to suck the breast of the Gentiles, the riches of the Gentiles. We're going to boast ourselves in these things, but it comes with a process, not selling out to the oppressor to get riches. The scripture says what riches gotten by vanity shall be what? Shall be diminished.
It says, verse 15, the ancient and the honorable, he is the head, and the prophet that teacheth lies, he is the tail.
Yeah, the ancient and honorable is who the Lord is re-establishing today by His truth. And these are the heads. You're looking at your future heads, beginning with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. There's a government being established on the earth. And similar, Mashara, the government.
The real Mashara, not this shit Sakari, not real.
God. With
the
and then this new, these upstarts who broke off from Sakari. No, we broke off Hassad and Hakar. They call themselves Genesis. Some new beginning there. Genesis. They are on a new beginning. Yeah, Genesis. Right?
Yet we in Revelation, them starting with Genesis.
With the end and
the beginning. Yeah, they bug out.
A beginning of a new bug out crew.
That's right.
The Genesis of more bug outs.
That's right.
They're not going to last. You have the examples, they're not going to lie. It says, for the leaders of the people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. Therefore the Lord shall have no joy in their young men, neither shall have mercy on their fatherless and widows. For everyone is an hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth speaketh folly. For all this his anger is not turned away.
And we seeing that today. So the leaders of these people causing them to err. How are they causing them to err? What is some of the examples we have? They're not teaching the true name, the begin name. Right? They're not teaching the true name.
They're not reverencing
Yahweh. And then they ain't teaching the people what the enemy coming with. They even having the people perplexed. Because
that the enemy really is the enemy.
That is it, because and if either to love the enemy or do a boy, what to do?
So K was saying Esau telling you they want you not to take the equity. So they're telling you to take how you put it? It's like a reverse psychology. Right? It's like, yo, if this man is the damn devil, or there's no cowards, right? The white man is the damn devil, or they curse them out, or they thing, or they have one black on, or they militants, blah blah blah, right? But how come now the enemy coming with psych? If he was always the devil, so his reverse psychology is not being a devil? You understand, man? You say that they come with reverse psychology, but whatever they do, these people say all his ways are grievous. So even if they say that reverse psychology, it's just stay away from it.
Never trust that. So they say never trust them.
And the front, see, drive, but the front, see, part of the police. He's out here on the station. No, there's the back of the station.
Peace up here.
What?
It's Lamentation 2 and verse 14. Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee. They have not discovered thine iniquity to turn away thy captivity, but have seen for the false burdens and causes of banishment.
Further causes of banishment.
That begins with the pastors, firstly, because before we had the whole Israelite movement, Christianity was at the forefront. Seeing a whole lot of vain and foolish things for the people. And then today, sadly, we have men of the circumcision who seeing even more vain and foolish things.
Well, the scripture say that the prophets or the priests supposed to set that difference between the holy and unholy.
And the priests should keep knowledge.
And they should keep
Distinction in songs.
Right, in John 10 and 12 it says, but he that is a hireling and not a shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep and fleeth.
And that's what these men are. They are hirelings. They get paid to lead these people astray. They get engaged. That C3 charter is a gag order. Right? You get paid to not blow the trumpet correct. So what the scripture say, the trumpet blow on certain song, the people shall not be warned. The trumpet was used to blow in what? To call in what? To call in the feast, the new moon. The trumpet was used to call in what? Danger.
That is spirit. What I want to say fast is we don't say anything if you do it. Yet the enemy making a tumult. We hear any song. We know that Revelation 12 and 12 is being coming to life. We hear any noise, we hear any enemy coming. We see it also being as watchmen. But what them doing now, them have a blind eye. So them is the head of the blind. So everybody else lead, follow the blind, and we all of we going down in that ditch. Yeah, put the hedge. Yeah, bring the precepts out. Bring it up.
It's 1 Corinthians 14 and 6. Now, brethren, if I come unto you speaking with tongues, what shall I profit you, except I shall speak to you either by revelation, or by knowledge, or by prophesying, or by doctrine.
So let's clear that up. Speaking in tongues, it just means speaking a different language, or understandable language, right? Because we had Israelite foreigners, we are Israelite foreigners. scattered in different lands. You should just say, talk about the diaspora or the dispersion. The dispersion going to the diaspora, Israel scattered abroad. When you had the day of Pentecost in Acts chapter 2. We were speaking about those that heard everyone in their own language, and it was a big amazement because they came from what? Egypt, Pharaohs, Kush, China, wherever they came from, right? Where they were born on the outside and they came back to keep the law. They were Jews, they were known as Jews because they came back, they knew who they were and they came back to keep the feast. To keep the feast, three major feasts you have to come back to Israel to keep, right? So they come, you hear them, you might be multilingual, bilingual. Paul knew different languages. He was multilingual.
You know the Latin, Greek, and the Hebrew.
1 Corinthians 14 and 7.
Guess what? English is a bastard language. This is the last language. One of the last languages.
It is the last commercialized language.
Right, and they have Spanish. Right? One both of them come from the Latin and the Greek. The English had Latin, Greek, Germanic, and Anglo-Saxon had things mixed up inside there. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians 14 and 7. And even things without life-giving sound, whether pipe or harp, except they give a distinction in the sounds.
A distinction in the sound. Either a warning or a calling in. Right? Either a warning or a calling in. So what it is, right? You here saying, there's the devil, but they're telling you to take it, but they don't want you to take it because they don't want you to get the cure. All the fucking people who take it drop in there. IUIC had people, 20 members, drop there. Tell we lie. Or they self-say it. So it's not slander. If you say it, I just repeat what you say. You understand? You gave the record that you told your members or 20 members of your congregation took the source and what? They dropped dead. You understand? ISUPK, they had brothers from the New York camp, the main camp, bounce them up in a grocery. Right? And their defense was once the apostles depart from the One West teaching, so they know the true prophets, they come out to the General Yohana. General Yohana doesn't know nothing. General Yohana is not a representation of the truth. He's the worst representation of One West. You know? Oh good. Wow, Salakia. He's the second worst. Because GOCC man, he bugged out. Like a big bug out eyes, saying that the Lord coming from the sea. So going into them different books. These men they refuse to take instruction and they call themselves teachers and leaders of people.
Well, he really don't have all either, man. He doesn't have all either, man.
Yeah. Continuing 1 Corinthians 14 and 7, they say, how shall it be known what is pipe or harp? They say, for if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle?
Yeah, so there's a battle at hand. The scripture in Isaiah chapter 1, I think it verse 9. So what? Israel is like Israel. This is Israel of God. It's like a cottage in the vineyard of cucumbers. Besiege. We besiege. The elect are besieged. Right? Because what? We for one understand that there's a war against our nation. There's a war against the food. There's a war against the air. There's a war against the drink. There's a war against our existence. What the elite say? The elite say what they wanted. The first they say they wanted to decrease the world population to 500 million. After that, they destroyed the Georgia Guidestones, and then they had the WWF making a proud, loud statement. We want to reduce the world population by 90%. Right? And you're going to have 10%, out of the 10%, servants, servitors, and technicians for the AI. Right? Then you have now, they're saying they want to, 2025, they want to take away 6 billion. 6 billion or 6 million?
6 billion.
6 billion. So they're going to have like 7 billion. Right?
Like 75% of the population.
You understand?
See that Jake jersey there? Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. That's why he's going to die as a black man. Right? Black means without light. Boy, don't understand it, boy.
Scripture here. Just one line. Psalms 10 and 3. For the wicked boasted of his heart's desire, and blessed the covetous, whom the Lord hath called.
Jacob only wise. You from Maloney or something, so?
Yeah, if you come to Antwerp, you were saying there because But in Trinidad and Tobago, the government was sending out basically rules for each company, corporation, that they must get at least 70 to 75% of their staff with the 3-point jump shot, with the split game. And now when they do the maths here now, when they say 6 billion divided by 8 billion people in the world, they get the same 75%. This is all a plan. Yeah.
When IBM, International Investment Bank, give the government the loan to build them new wastewater station. It was part of the plan to fire people. You have to fire the wastewater. You have to fire. So they're making policy, right? That does not include the human resource. Because they don't want the human resource. Because they want it that they own. Going back to Genesis 27, there's a morning we fulfill, then will I see this thing like Jacob. Right? The book of Amos, the prophet Amos said what? For 3 transgressions, those are the most like 2 Amos, for 3 transgressions, even for 4. Because thou hast pursued thy brother Jacob with the sword, right? And had a perpetual hatred. He loved his word, he loved
and I think this is why Elon Musk right now building factories and mass produce robots.
Right? iRobot. iRobot is a documentary.
Yeah.
Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 14. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall.
So in other words, you're not saying, go take your eye over that fucking wicked man. Never trust him, go take your eye for the sleep, unless they cause some to fall. This man not resting. This man have the power to do so. You can sleep when you get here, go. Take it go. I know my uncle, my father, brother, right here, pastor, and you know that, pastor. And he's talking to me. And he's saying, boy, when I said I'm about to do them, nothing is not coming for them. They're saying, well, table here, no. And then they can sit down here, no, to do something. And in the morning, they make it happen. And that was a testimony. That was a testimony that come to me to know that these words are true. Because he see the things himself. And he's a pastor for the devil. He's a pastor for Jesus Christ. Every time he come on the doctor, I'm pastor with the our back. You understand? So he come and tell him what we do. And I hear him. Right? He have a support that he know that he's not of me that of your heart for the truth. Right? What I'm trying to tell you, they didn't have something because you what do you say? I will choose it in you. So you think you know all the way you do it in much less time, but you're going to press off the devil.
I'll fast one like that for you.
Listen, if you want it,
Psalms 10 and 3.
Alright, so Psalms 10, I'll read it over again and pull out the 4.
Yeah.
Psalms 10 and, yeah. Psalms 10 and 3, it reads, for the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire.
Yes, he boasted in glory. Yuval Harari, that fucking devil, he a who?
Yeah, pass around that. Yeah, pass around that.
Yeah, no, but he and Vocab Malone, every Israelite should get a generation with evil. In 1,000 years, every Israelite should get a year. A year tormenting and fighting. Well,
right? For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blessed the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is not in all his thoughts.
Continue.
It's fucking devils, man. His ways are always grievous.
His ways are what?
Always grievous.
All his ways are grievous. So who gonna feel that the brunt of that? Jacob. Because what? Jacob. That's why he had to destroy 75 to 100% of the earth. Because the Lord promised Abraham to increase his seed and to start ahead. So hey, in the time of the genocide of Moses, in the time of the genocide of our Lord, because it was a genocide against Hebrew Israelite men, boys, not men, boys, right? They killed it. They put out a decree to kill the boys in the time of Moses. They put out a decree to kill the boys in the time of Yahweh Shai. When Herod, when the wise men come back to Herod, and he perceived, right? What do? He put out a decree. Kill all the boys within this age group, right? So he had to cover it, right? So they're trying to cover it there now. They're trying to say, well, here we see, we're gonna kill these elect. Simeon Toko, Right? Hey, well, they might kill me here now. But they have some men that are coming up that they're going to be just like me. Right? So we had to kill them. We had to kill them. We had to destroy them. What? What's that?
Silence. What?
Alright, so what? So what? Right? Yeah, so Simeon took a prophesy unto them that they will have men like him coming up. They will have men like him.
Like you threatened now.
That, you know?
I don't even feel threatened.
Yeah, the way she said, they hear the report that we are afraid. They are frightened.
You know why they're frightened? When I go to Isaiah 13, Isaiah 13, I'll start from verse 1. It reads, the burden of Babylon which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Verse 2, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles.
So it's a threat from the harbor and outside to the east. The apostle said to the apostle, he said, when you finish that, they're watching us. They're watching us. Even Romans, they're watching us. They're watching the elect of us. They're watching IUIC. They're watching IUIC. You know why? Because they're the pocket.
Galactical something, yes, sir?
Yeah, that's me, galactical something. But what it is really a galactical but really it's watching us.
Yeah.
So we just try to pass the
You see, and the thing about it is, as brother, some years back, maybe a year or two back when we was by the market, pursuant to the same scripture, we mentioned, you know, we are no longer in the gates and the nobles, right? We inside the house. We walking through the bedroom. That's how them watching we watching them. You understand?
You know how we in the bedroom? What the scripture say? We should take the children and dash them and
A quick one fair.
Yeah?
Quick one fair.
Yeah.
It's Job 15 and 21. A dreadful song is in his ears. In prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him. And that dreadful song is this here. So when he need like hearing this, with the AI, what he take? Yeah, he tormented.
he put on the big screen TV, 300-inch, 300-inch Samsung.
Right? He eyes quickly against the
Four.
Yeah,
he put it on, and yeah. As it is written, Esau is the end of the world.
Nightmares again right now.
I want to read this Psalm 1:2 and verse 14. He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous. Somebody can check him in. Grievous. He is grievous unto us, even to behold. So they're watching us acting on the big TV and they're trembling. They're sweating bullets.
It's like alarm. When you're gonna get up in the morning, the worst thing on the ear is an alarm. You gotta go. So imagine Esau in an alarm for the men of the Lord, and that the time is going to end. So it's a fearful thing. You don't hear about that. Yeah.
You had no snooze. You had no snooze.
Yeah.
You had so have no snooze. And then again, that's showing that I should be careful. I say these men is not the men of the Lord.
So that means the Minnesota is working wrong.
Yeah, wrong clock.
And yeah, meaning here for grievous, it says serious, severe, grave, bad, critical, dreadful, terrible, awful, painful, agonizing, hurtful, afflicting.
You know when they're critical in the hospital, you're almost flatlining.
Yeah.
That's the Esau kingdom.
That is it.
Flatlining.
He just goes, I'll have me.
Yeah,
And therefore, then they want to bring AI, feel like they're Iron Man. As I see this.
AI support.
AI is a life support.
Resuscitation.
Go ahead.
They say he is grievous unto us, even to behold.
And all AI is such a false thing. AI is just a pattern of human nature. It's a pattern. It's a repetitive pattern. It's not like What do you want the movie Transcendence with Jack Sparrow guy? Johnny Depp. What it was just his pattern that they put in the his algorithm, they call it. It's a pattern. Right? Guess what? Your custom. Hey, even if you movie it was working at one with Scarlett Johansson. I think it was Scarlett Johansson. Right, when they had working at shop, when the man he was a computer programmer and the owner of the company that he was working for, when he was in his spine on them. Because when you log into his IT adjustment and whenever he would watch porn, right, the type of girls he would look, right, at, and all the pictures and things, he designed a cyborg robot, right, to that. And he thinking he dealing with a human, but all the time was a fucking robot and he ended up falling like the robot. And then the robot now, following human pattern, as a wicked witch she was, killed the fucking maker of the one we shall be one. The come became the beginning lesson and through how we all died. She killed the maker. Is that Eve? Was that Eve? Was that Eve?
Woman, yeah, precept. Yeah, that's what I'm finishing. Yeah. Wisdom of Solomon 12:15, he is grievous and just even to behold, for his life is not like other men's, his ways are of another fashion.
His ways of another fashion. You understand? Esau, the scripture say, as he born, he go for speaking lies. You understand? That is subtle beast was in the garden, back here now. Come with a long snake tongue. You understand? To deceive many. Go ahead.
Zechariah 1:15, it says, I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they held forward the affliction.
Yes, Esau.
The Lord thing with them, because they held forward the affliction. You understand? When the Lord say, Jerusalem, thy thing is accomplished, Esau know exactly what to do to keep me on now. Yeah, that's sinning. You know that once you power not dealing with me, once you sin in your power will be dealing with us.
When you look at Judah,
yeah, when we only Lord, once you come upon the Lord, pass us by, and once we come upon the Lord, attack us basically.
Yeah, put peanut, we call it, peanut, what is it, peanut gland? Calcify the peanut gland. Put pork in everything. If you know that I'm doing this, you already are doing this, and that's why every day something coming out, and that's why the watchers, men who really watch it, so taking heed of these things. What healthy for your body, like what not your
like when you say hey, what comes to the mind is, you know, say no, I will cause this provoke to cease now. Meaning that when people hear that, they don't want to say, listen, when it happens, God said, I will cause this thing to provoke to cease, and I'll cause it to happen now.
Ezekiel 12 and 22 going down. Some of you, Ezekiel 12 and 22 going down. Think about what's coming.
Every corner, every treasure on soul, treasure on soul, treasure on soul. Treasure chocolate. But they are trying out to do sacrifice. Really gonna escape them.
Yeah, they're putting up storage in the pipe water. They're putting up temperature. How much percent that poisoning temperature is 20? I put it up a notch for 45.
This morning I was doing some research going back as far as the Vietnam War and the cloud seeding. So cloud seeding is not no new thing. Cloud seeding they're doing that a long time. They had a code name too. They could have find, I think from what I remember, they could have find one of these project paper. Right?
That
was new, means it was renewed. The same wickedness all over again.
That's why I was going to say, like, if you read it yesterday, so what I have actually for the power, which we understand is the Rukah Kodash. You understand? So when we understand at the time we're heading into, which is the enemy coming like a flood, we understand that to use that power. So right now we're using the power. You understand? And applying, we have the power because as the scripture you bring out in the book of James, not being a hearer but also a doer of the word. You understand? So when that time comes and the enemy coming, we know he could be coming with martial law, MOTB, we know all these things he's coming with. But most of all, he's coming for the men of the Lord. He want our blood, as the book of Matthew 10, he want our blood upon his synagogues. He gonna feel great to know that, hey, this is a man I put to death. You know, I'm going to laugh at and say, hey, where you God now? It's like what the Spirit will sit and come with when he tell you, Lord, hey, watch over the ambulance, all this, here it will be yours, this bow to me. And that is where we coming with right now, and let them take it back. A lot of these other camps take it back and run with it.
I'm going to back up what the brothers are saying. It's Psalms 124 and verse 2. If it had not been the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, who was on our side, when men rose up against us, then they had swallowed us up quick. When their wrath was kindled against us, then the waters had overwhelmed us, the stream had gone over our soul. Then the proud waters had gone over our soul. But blessed be the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, who had not given us as a prey to their teeth. Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken, and we are escaped. Our health.
Lord put that mark exemption upon us and it's to what I have a shot.
Yeah, like them two women that was in our house.
Yeah, boy.
When I see any of the video.
Balling, who put it down?
Balling.
Who put it down?
Burning up in that fire. Two sweet women looking like.
Yeah, the daughter was, yeah, the daughter was
I was
nice.
saying that coming on you can't say why these women now start to really, because I watching some brother post up something. Uber driver, a woman talking, and a woman talking in the backseat, and the Uber driver proud guy, she over talking, she complaining and making us see. So these women getting the judgment,
So what I have
not on the high scale that we want to see it, but
it's getting there.
it's getting there.
It's getting there.
Verse 8, it says, our help is in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, because why? Yahweh Shai tell us at the beginning, the end, that the whole judgment is going to come to pass. As a man so socially, you know, like to marry what is with me, so I don't tell man. I say I don't go to all these things. You know, like I'm a quick I marry what is with me, so I don't tell every man that here about you do what you do. Right? How you know good and evil by what the law says? They are the judgments. They are the judgments. They are the judgments. Now the sins of the elect, they covered. Right? Whatever we're going through now is are building up. Right? But the sins of the elect is covered. But the sins of these people is not covered. Because their Lord is not Yahweh Hashem Hashem. Their Lord is Egypt. Their Lord is money. Their Lord is all the idols.
What they don't understand too is that a place of repentance is now open.
Right?
And they're despising it. Because according to, as you say, the laws, the commandments, the statutes, all of us as a nation of people, we deserve death. But Yahweh Shai came, and as Romans 8:1 says, there is now therefore no condemnation to them that are in him. And this is what Yahweh Shai had set up for you to come into. But we know how it's set. The elect will come in, and those that stay without, they are destined to be fuel to the fire, or the fuel to the famine. Whatever judgment the Lord has laid up, you're going to receive it.
Yeah.
Basically, guys, like when I go to 1 Corinthians or 2 Corinthians, let me see that there out there. 1 Corinthians 5 and 19, let me see.
So this is that spiritual ark, like going back to the time of Noah. Is everything inside of the ark was saved? If you're not inside of this, you ain't getting saved. You're going to be destroyed. You're going to be in pity. You're going to be in a pitiful case, especially if you're in America, right, or in regions where it has to be shot with nuclear missiles, right? You're Jacob. You ain't going to live. You ain't going to survive in time of Jacob's trouble if you ain't in this truth. That's why the time to come is not known as Esau's trouble or Moab's trouble. It's Jacob's trouble. Because remember, the other nations, they're going to always be here. Right?
Their purpose is to be slaves.
That is it.
They were spots.
It's just that. Right? They're supposed to be our silver. They will be our silver. The nation's going to bring in all the increase onto Israel. If they don't do it in sincerity and in truth, not what is being forced on them through these fools, these imposters, these Amalekites. But that's forced within America, given the majority of their
GDP and whatnot.
The defense budget going towards Israel. Right? what was going to happen is that these heathen nations, non-Israelite nations, and what would heathen mean, non-Israelite, they're literally going to bring, what you should just say, turn your plowshares into food and hut. Right? The swords into food and hut. Right. They're going to do the reverse. Because they took the plowshares and they put it into swords.
It's a strangers, so they're vine dressers.
Right? So they took all their farming tools and the money and everything and they invested it into what weapons. Right? But now they're going to reverse that in the kingdom of heaven. That's going to be reversed. Yeah, because there's no weapon they can form. What is it? They say no weapon formed against the self-prosperity. That's Isaiah 54:17. Right? But no weapon they can form can fight against the spirit. It will be an example of that. And the burning of America, that desolate land is going to be the perpetual memorial of that. They cannot fight against the Heavenly Father. Right? Go ahead. No, the Israelites, because what? Because that's when Psalm 52 verse 6 will come into play. As it is written, have I said, ye are gods? Or they shall die as men, but we're going to return to Godhood.
As it say, in our visitation, we shall run like sparks upon amongst the stubble.
There's Ezekiel 39 and verses 8 to 9. Behold, it is come, and it is done, saith the Lord Yahweh power. This is the day whereof I have spoken. And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth, and shall set on fire, and burn the weapons, both the shields, and the bucklers, the bows, and the arrows, and the handstaves, and the spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years. Right, which is a complete number of time.
Right? Russia going on
rise back up again.
All the weapons
as it blind,
going
as
to
it
get
blind,
back.
as blind doctrine. That is doctrine of blind with blinders on it. That is blind doctrine. With the blind is the blind, they both shall fall into it. Right?
I was going to say is that these times that we are heading into, as concerning Daniel, the 12th chapter, it says at that time shall like people be delivered.
Yeah.
Right? The same time, because Daniel 12, Jeremiah 30 is talking about the same event. Jacob's trouble. So there's a purging out.
Revelation 3 and 10.
Revelation 3 and 10.
Luke 21.
Luke 21, Matthew 24.
But what the pastor say, that is only written one time in the Bible. He was not sent.
Ignorant,
He
blind,
was not sent.
deaf. Right? So
And dumb.
And dumb. Lame. All these things. They are not fit, they are not whole.
When the scripture call them dumb dogs, they do not bark.
That's right.
Or a dog is bark when an intruder come in.
The reason why they can't bark is because most of them, they're muzzled by the 501c3 charter. Look, Esau got them muzzled up, right? And they're looking for that gain from the quarter. That goes in deeper than just an offering. The gain that they're looking for from the quarter is all these funds that Esau, the bag that Esau is giving them.
Esau going to pay them, and then the money that they get from tithes and offering arms, right? That is tax exempt, so that is everything pocketed. But Esau will do that. And anytime you fight against a policy, when they say, hey, you need to come as an interreligious organization and speak, you need to accept homosexuals, you need to marry them, lesbian, right? Bestiality, you need to be a friend of all our philosophy. Anytime you do so, they're going to hit you out back to back.
Yeah, that'd be
because they make the laws and they have all the clause.
So also they send in the IRS for
yeah. Esau will get you. The devil will get you.
Yeah, covenant with death and hell will be disannulled. So, in these last days, there's going to be a purging out of all the rebels. The prophecy tells us that. So the heathens, they're going to be scattered around the world. Those of them that are reserved unto captivity, especially the global elites, right? The Lord is going to preserve them alive for slavery. A lot of heathens as well going to die. Edomites are going to die as well in these last days coming here, in the masses, right? But you jakes that are rebellious, you all are going to be purged out. Purged. Yes, the scripture says there's a sifting in the house of Israel.
That's right.
So the elect is going to remain, the remnant is going to remain, and you rest are nigglets, right? And niggers, you're going to go.
Basically, they are rubbish, and what you just do with rubbish? You dispose of it. You don't keep rubbish in your house. Right? You don't keep rubbish in your house.
A vessel of honor and dishonor be a vessel made for the fit for the master's use. Because if you don't you're not fit for the master's use.
Useless.
Nobody gonna use a broken glass mug. Nobody you can dash that away.
Yeah, because you want your mouth get cut up.
Yeah, they don't defile their tongue. 2/3.
What happens? What happens when the master is so useful?
You become useless.
You share that any first transformer. You know any first transformer when here was working for the rich man, right? But the rich man was working for the Decepticon. You know when you hear what? What do you name the Decepticon? What do you name again? Megatron basically flick him like a fly. He said, go from here, and he comes similar, and he said, Megatron, take, and he the point of the tower for them. And they say, well, we don't need it, because he said, Megatron said, basically, like, I think this smell and move from here.
That's that Esau thing too.
Yeah.
That's something what Esau would do.
Yeah.
You do all this, you worship him, you change the doctrine about 10 times, and then Esau, he don't care about it. He don't care about he himself.
I like the scripture say, and they that consent unto him shall be held in derision. You understand? There is where it is here. You feel that, and that's why the scripture say I'm also to and death and hell.
Yeah, I can say this.
Covenant with death, yeah, will be dishonored.
Yeah,
But you come twice, so you pass.
You feel Esau so love you that he couldn't.
Esau don't love nobody.
Esau don't love nobody. Scripture say
Esau didn't love his own soul.
You understand?
Esau gave away his birth, right? For what? For a morsel of meat and pottage.
But I say some lentils.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now we just reading out Esau charge sheet, and he just troops as well.
Scripture say he's not going to take himself to
Yeah.
He's Sirach 40:5 says, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods.
He shall not take pleasure in his goods, because the church say what? Gold is mine, the silver is mine, all the churches is mine, because all that Esau going to have to take. The Lord has used Esau to gather it up, manufacture it, make it in bricks, to build the kingdom of heaven. Streets of gold, streets paved of gold, for stone, I will give you silver. You understand? The kingdom of heaven will be greater than Babylon. No, all the kingdom, when you watch the statues in Nebuchadnezzar, a dream from Daniel, right? The head of gold, that Babylon was what? The upland kingdom. After that was the Medes and Persia, that was what? They had more of a military might, right? But the greatest kingdom thus far was upland was the Babylonian kingdom. But that one nothing. They're falling or hanging pomegranates and all that kind of stuff. Right? But guess what? That didn't want nothing with the kingdom.
That's right.
Right? Everything gonna be used. Look, you're watching on TikTok, they're showing you out. Look, and they will say this Tartarian dynasty, whatever it was, Tatar. Some time, right? They had architecture, when they had like the cathedral, which go back to Cathos, when they was taking energy from the sky and all this kind of stuff. And they were showing you that they had uranium glasses, uranium vases, uranium mugs and jugs. And we said that years ago, I don't know if you can remember, that I mentioned that the elements, right, because we didn't read it. When we're talking about good and evil, in the beginning when we started the lesson tonight, right, we were supposed to read it in Sirach 33. When we're talking about that, before the children were born, before they even did good or evil, their predestined, their destinies was already set. Because the way of the Most High is all his ways are double. Duality, one against the other. Now I say, light is set against darkness, good is set against evil. Right? When you go to the book of Sirach 43, it speaks about all these are good to the godly and also to the sinner. So when Esau takes all the uranium, the plutonium and the uranium, all these different things they can use to make nuclear energy and to be radioactive. They use it on the left hand side. But we're going to use it on the right hand side. What the scripture say, the cities are going to have one for life. Right? One because wisdom, as I understand, is going to be there. The Lord is going to be there. Right? But also the elect going to be there. all these elements are going to be used to illuminate our bodies, our celestial bodies. We're going to be illuminated, right? The people themselves are going to be illuminated. That wisdom, we should have said, when Moses came down from the mount, right? His face shone, and it was so bright that what? He had to put a veil over it, right? Wisdom causes that man's face to shine. We're going to have the wisdom, and we're going to also have the elements to help empower us.
Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 17 says, "For he hath given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely, to know how the world was made and the operation of the elements."
And the operation of the elements. So you saw the periodic table. We talk about meteorites coming from space, and this is our unknown, this and the other. Guess what? We're going to know what everything is.
Yeah, that gift was even given to the tribe of Issachar.
Now that's really heavens.
They really have astrology.
Elements.
Can't.
You know, like they'll come and say they're a meteorite. Like, watch Blue Eye Samurai. I don't know how much brothers get Blue Eye Samurai. She made the sword out of a meteorite. Right? That sword is a bad mama jam. That sword is real bad. That sword, yeah, that sword is scary. It's like
Like the Black Panther too. Black Panther is herb.
yeah, the herb.
Radiation from the herb.
Radiation from the herb.
Meteor.
And that's it. There's a plant that can break down every element. You can get the element of everything in the soil from certain plants. There's a plant that you can get the elements of gold and silver from. There's like, and how you can prove that? You can prove that. CMOS. 92 out of 102 minerals in your meat.
She legit too.
She legit.
Very
Yeah. You understand? So there are plants that can synthesize all the useful, non-lethal, non-toxic particles or properties of these elements. But each one take the elements and use them on the left hand side for the structure.
I had this piece up here. It's Sirach 39:26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of grape, and oil, and clothing. All these things are good for the godly, so to the sinner they are turned into evil.
So you remember years ago when we used to go price and buy box wine. Then when we actually look at the box wine, and when they watch the box wine, they have the skin on it will have allergens and may contain crustacean and eggs. And like, why would have eggs and wine? Wine is just fruit, right? And yeast is like eating, right? That's the fruit and yeast, right? Or sugar. You understand? And then I started to go into wine and I realized now what they use crustacean shells, crab shells, seashells, different crustaceans. They use that to help clear the wine, to have the final product to clear it, right? The eggshells are not to clear it, right? That's what it is used for. So that's how they put the abomination inside there. So you have shrimp, catfish, right? All these things up in your food. You know, you like how much Jake like Chinese food, Chinese style chicken, that Chinese style fried chicken. There's fried, right, and the beef there's fried in oyster sauce, right? Unless you specifically ask for a vegetarian oyster sauce, right? You're gonna get with oysters in the sauce. Oysters is in oyster sauce. Go right there, go show look it up, right? But there's a vegetarian oyster sauce. Right? But even if you take the vegetarian oyster sauce, you know what you're going to get? You're going to get some from a high fucking sodium or high energy. You're going to get the poison in it. They take all the food and the poison. Right? Good taste. Good taste. You put MSG, mono, sodium, glutamate. You put MSG in dirt, it will taste fucking marvelous. You put MSG in dirt, it will taste fucking marvelous. Right? It will taste like
All them can't put in
MSG, it kills the nerves. It destroys nerves. It destroys brain cells. Right?
And the thing is, these fuckers know. They know the deadly effects.
Purposely. That's why we have a curse against Ammon, a curse against Moab, a curse against when you go to the book of Jeremiah 48, 49,
25.
right?
Man 25.
Oh yeah, the book of Jeremiah. When you go through the book, these nations curse. Jeremiah 49 talking about Elam. They have a curse against Ammon, between them have Ammon and Moab. Thou proud. He says thou most proud. Jeremiah 50, 51, 49, 50, 51. You understand? Because all these nations, they are against Israel. It's Ishmael against Israel. You are not my brother, you are a child of the slave. Ishmael don't give a fuck. Even somebody is breaking it down last week, right? That even Ishmael amongst Islam. I'm sorry, Israel amongst Islam, right?
Ishmael don't like them.
Ishmael don't like them. The Arabs treat them like lower tier.
Yeah.
They're more servants. Because they have a caste system inside them too.
Take for example, perfect example, Libya. There are a lot of Jakes that want to go to Europe, to mainland Italy, because Libya right there to Italy, that's a small passage of water. But the thing about it is there are a lot of Jakes that when they reach into Libya, they go through the Libyans, they put them back, they put them into slavery and do them all sorts of wickedness, all sorts of persecution and whatnot, so forth, you understand? So it just goes to show, you know. There's Lamentations 2 and 15. It reads, all that pass by clap their hands at thee, they hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee, they hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. You understand?
Just to add on that same words that used there to say all them things, gonna be in reverse just now. You understand? That the beauty, that the patience that we waited for.
Gonna reverse, yeah.
They're gonna reverse. This is the same city, but the Lord went down again. You know, they're gonna talk about it different.
You need to say these niggas and these spits and these wetbacks, they actually regain rulership.
Jeremiah 25 and 15. Take the wine cup of the Lord and cause all the nations to drink it.
Yeah, Micah 4 and 1 also.
Lamentation 4:22.
What it is we did, what it is we could have done in order to be able to prevent this. I mean, after all these years and all these resources that we had used and whatnot, so forth, and councils and all these things, and you mean to tell me these niggas is actually ruling the fucking earth again?
Precept here. Listen.
Fast precept, I don't know one line.
Done. This is the book of Zephaniah 3 and 19. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her and health. That halted.
That word halt means to stop.
God.
So in German, it used to say halt.
Halt.
That's the same word.
Yeah, halt.
God. This is the book of Zephaniah 3 and 19. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her and halt and gather her that was driven out.
Save her that
halted, Salakia, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land, that fame in every land where they have been put to shame.
I don't about either man. When you come and you put the shame, because the fake cost. I'm trying to figure out how smart to say. Because when you know the word, that word is used in the etymology, right? The cost that was followed, that was used in the etymology. I just can't remember the word, right? I can't remember the word, right? But the real cost was our transatlantic
triangular, transatlantic slave trade along with the sub-Saharan slave trade. You can't forget about the sub-Saharan slave trade. You understand?
Except here, just to add to the efforts going on, Ezekiel 21 and 27, I will overturn it, and it shall be no more until he come whose right it is, and I will give it him.
There's Lamentations chapter 4 and 22. The punishment of 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion, and he will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins.
So that is the point. All the punishment that came upon Israel is now being passed on to the Edom.
That's right. That's right.
All the punishment that came upon us is passed on to the Edom. According to Jeremiah 25 and 15. Take that cup and send it to the Edoms now.
And double it.
Cause them to drink, and that is the mission of the street.
And if they don't drink, he's going to make them drink some dregs there.
Now in scripture say in the book of into Isaiah 60 and I think verse 12 it say, any nation that do not serve us shall perish. So we don't have time to do disorderliness. You look at the point of death. You can get deleted. So this is our fast precept. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 10 verse 30. It says the righteous shall never be removed, but the wicked shall not inherit the earth. So no matter what Esau trying to do, you understand, in Project Looking Glass is soon, you understand, Committees, MOTVs, AI, none of these things will never save you from your destruction. You understand?
Somebody could get the scripture and the main point in this showing them that when you don't say thou shalt not upon Edomite, look up the word and Syrians.
Jeremiah 49 and 7. Concerning Edom, thus said the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perish from
Teman is another word for Edom, for those young brothers there. Teman is another word for
the
Edom.
Jews today.
Yeah, you can't. You want to be another land of Edom, another band of the Edomite.
Is counsel perish from the prudent?
Yeah.
Is their wisdom vanished?
The Lord says their wisdom vanished, and basically that the Lord take away the wisdom from them, but he revealed all things in the servant, the prophet. As the second testimony, and he say, and I speak them by the word of my mouth, the spirit of my mouth.
Cancel and even
consume them. The word is consumed.
They are
consumed by the spirit of the mouth, which is the spirit of the prophet. What the spirit of the prophet doing is making them bare. They're exposed. They have no weight. They have no cloak for the lift up. The scooters will lift it up.
But they still operating as though nobody see them. They say nobody. They see me not. They see them not.
Because why? They deceive so much until they deceive themselves.
No, they say the pride of their heart.
Well, all that and deceive them.
This is Jeremiah 49 and 8. Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of the Dan. Right? For I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him.
Right? The Lord said all these calamity and again. How could another Edomite empire rise when the Lord said I'll bring the calamity of Esau upon him? Another empire in one rise there. You looking at the end of this man regime, this man reign.
We using his sword, using his sword against his sword. Egypt against Egypt, all can stand.
Well, the device of their own device is going to be used against them. So the same blessing, the scripture said Esau is the end of the world. So the same blessing that Isaac, the Habashai, gave him, right? If he's going to use that blessing to destroy
him, can.
Right? It says, what it said, the pit that he had dig, let him fall into it.
Okay, the pit that he dig for him, but then you don't say fall into that pit.
It says, the time that I will visit him, it says, if grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes?
But this man so greedy. You don't say, but if grape gatherers come to gather grape, you know you'll gather enough.
Yeah, the young ones.
And you will leave the young ones. The man
that go back to the welfare system. Right? When it gleaning, which means you're picking the fruit, what you're supposed to do is leave the outer, according to the law, you leave the outer bones or the trees, you leave the fruit like that, it's for the poor.
For the poor, and you feed the birds and the heaven and everything.
Right? That's for the poor. That's what it means. You don't glean all. You don't ever clean out a whole tree. You don't ever pick out all the fruit. You leave that, that's welfare. Right? That's it. That's what it's supposed to do. But what we supposed to do, they want to put a digital oil, which is a brand or badge of ownership in all flesh.
The scripture said because he transgresses by wine.
Yeah, every apple, every fruit or every apple you pick is being accounted for. You have to pay. Even for water you drink, you have to pay.
The scripture say, he that toucheth the apple of my eye. Which is the apple of my eye in the Hebrew goes back to what? Baba, which is choice fruit.
Job chapter 20 and verses 15. He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. Power shall cast them out of his belly.
Yeah, because all that he claims say is all going to be us, our own. You hear what he's saying? All that he claims say is his own will be ours. Because what you know what brother Amma once said? It was never his. You understand? The Lord take it, he's a squatter.
The Lord just use him.
Correct.
He used him, as I said in the Lord, he used him to gather it, to manufacture it, make it into the brick, and then he's going to use him as a slave to build it.
When they search how much gold and let's say they say that 8 million metric tons. But one metric ton breaking down to 2,200 something pounds, right? So them and all the Russia over China have put together like
the Bank of England, what they get from Venezuela, what they see from Venezuela.
Yeah.
How real gold? Because it's not only the American either my gold, it's going to be, and then how the Lord had it, right? The Lord had it that out of 40 bucks, so they keep 40 gold, right? Then they ship all the gold into the Bank of England, and then they have to put it in there. No, they have gold in America, but the Lord had it that the majority of that gold they ship out.
The scripture say my good be present thing have you taken into your idol temple.
Go ahead.
You think it's one score to like you think it's one score to go and just the piece either? And they think that rich nigga will come and say that thou shalt not abhor and eat them. You just don't know this. You do not doing the circle.
That's it, because we showing the truth, the lesson already showing the true spirit. So that Edomite is abhorred in the sight of the Most High. A true Edomite. Right? That Edomite.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 5, and starting at verses 4. For thou art not a power that had pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight.
So who's the foolish? The fool said in his heart that there's no God. The fool said in his heart that there's no God. And then he sit in the seat of God. He sit in the seat of God as though he is God. But what the scripture say, he's not a God, but he's a man.
He said, I will be like
he say your horse is his flesh, and you is flesh. Right? You can't fight a spiritual battle with kind of weapons. Right? The Lord coming to fuck Esau and Egypt up. Right?
It says, reading on, the foolish shall not stand in thy sight, thou hatest all workers of iniquity.
That's Esau and Edom.
Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. The Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, will abhor the bloody and deceitful man.
Right, Paul, the word leasing goes into
He's got to go with that one.
the word leasing goes into deceitful. The word leasing goes into what? Deceitful and lies. You have to be deceitful and lies.
That's right.
Right?
So you will abhor them. You abhor the bloody and deceitful man.
And that's Esau and Edom. So the word Edom there was a typo. Right? It was a clerical error. It was supposed to be an Assyrian. Syrian. Right? That's all that went on there. That was a clerical error. And with a little study, you can come across that. Right? You're going to the etymology of the root.
That's what the scriptures is study to show yourself approved. If you don't study, you wouldn't know these things happen in the scriptures. You will be like a Jehovah's Witness, everywhere you see that's reading it.
You'll be like IUIC. IUIC literally said, when we break down the MOTV as being the micro-secret, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. Why they can't just read it as it is?
Spiritually dunce. We don't have the spirit. That is the word.
When I say spiritually lazy, I'm speaking about the congregation itself. Not the congregation itself is spiritually lazy.
Meaning they don't have the
They don't have the spirit of one to the research. They don't have
the spirit of the church of Berea.
Right? It's simple. They're spiritually lazy. They wouldn't want to go on, they wouldn't want to sit down and research you know, and going to words.
No, you're coming against the bishop.
Right? Yeah, you're coming up at that one who tell me, why weight is all they have against the bishop.
One time you got out to the market.
Hey, fuck the bishop, man.
Who is the bishop?
Yeah?
Who is the bishop versus Yahweh Shai?
Right?
Because we out here,
Right, the
we
bishop.
out here.
Take the bishop names out.
Take the bishop nuts out of your two cheeks.
Yeah.
That's how you sound like you know, like I'm squirrel.
Yeah.
Like you bishop nuts in your cheeks. But here what I say, right? We out here to glorify Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. We are not, and obviously, starting with our apostles, there's the example set. The apostles take no glory unto themselves. They take no glory unto themselves. They out here to teach you word, any form of glorification. They shut it down. Go ahead.
Bishop Nathaniel and his followers or cohorts, as you better say, they don't even put water in their mouth to come up against or speak evil against the men of the Lord. Their fellow Israelite brethren.
They slander.
They call you bomb, right?
Slander.
Rapist, which is all slander, right? Bishop Nathaniel said what anyone who calls upon that name, what he
cringe.
Yeah, cringe.
I cringe when I heard a name. Yeah. I try to tell you. Yeah. I cringe.
Die demons.
But
You
then,
understand? Demons.
but then,
Cringe when you hear that.
How demons is
but
going.
then, you're putting water in your mouth to say you hate Esau. How you could so boldly declare?
That bad.
You're boldly declaring how you feel about men who call on the name and how you feel about the name, but you can't boldly declare how you feel about
Take Esau money.
So he's telling them,
Yes, sir.
teach them this now. Teach them about that, you know, Mike, no. All right, okay, so. Yeah, you're on that.
And one of his zombies doing a lesson talking about it's in the commandments that we're not supposed to hate Esau. How can we hate Esau? We couldn't.
Which part of the commandments?
He said we couldn't. Or which part in the commandments to call your brother a bomb?
Which part? The apostle continually bringing it out. If you see a brother poor and destitute and you, but it's in the New Testament and also he that sees his brothers
Waxing poor.
Salakia. Let me get man is in First John.
Then Leviticus and law for them.
Right, go ahead.
Right,
It says 1 John 3:13. It says 1 John 3:13. Marvel not, my brethren, if the world hates you. 14. We know that we have passed from death unto life. Yeah, I'll read it. We have passed unto death. It says, we know that we have passed from death unto life because we love the brethren. He that loveth not his brother abideth in death. Whosoever hates his brother is a murderer, and he know that no murderer has entered into life. Had eternal life, abiding in him. Hereby perceive.
No murderer had eternal life. Yeah. Like the Lord speaking about Cain and his descendants. Yeah. They don't have eternal life.
Yeah.
They don't have that immortality that has been promised. Yeah. So you're like the Lord liking his just like he did in John 8:44. You have your father, the devil. The lust of your father you will do. He's likening his people to Esau. Go ahead.
Hereby perceive we the love of God, because he laid down his life for us, and we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren. But whoso had this world's good, and seeth his brother have need, and shutteth up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love of the Most High in him?
That's why he say, great son of the bomb camp. That's why
is that testimony against himself?
He does actually scorn. Well, and scripture, and then we wear the title of scorn, so we should say, Kalalayam, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua for that.
Add one again.
Yeah, go ahead, you were.
Leviticus 25:25. If thy brother be waxen poor, and had sold away some of his possession, and if any of his kin come to redeem it, then shall he redeem that which his brother sold. Right, which that's not the exact precept I was looking for here. Jumping down, right. Verses 35. It says, and if thy brother be waxen poor, and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee.
The key word there for those of you who think the Hebrews is up there, the key word there is brother. Brother.
So it shows you in the law how to treat if your brother poor, not to call him a bum. Right? Whether if he's a stranger or born in the land, you gotta receive him, you gotta deal with your brother.
Yeah, this is Surah 4:1. My son, defraud not the poor of his living, and make not the needy eyes to wait long. Make not an hungry soul sorrowful, neither provoke a man in his distress. So why mock at us if he's bummed? Why mock at us? By provoking a man in his distress. Add no more trouble to an heart that is vexed, and default not to give to him that is in need.
Wow.
Reject not the supplication of the afflicted, neither turn away thy face from a poor man. Turn not away thine eyes from the needy, and give him not occasion to curse thee. For if he curse thee in the bitterness of his soul, his prayer shall be heard of him that made him.
His prayer shall be heard. So the Lord does hear curse.
So now, so who the Lord hearing right now?
Great millstone.
Right? Plain and simple.
Yeah,
The bombs.
Plain and simple.
The bombs.
going
So
back.
if
Cursing is one
now
sword.
I would have said, so if the Lord
Cursing is
hear,
one sword.
so if the Lord hear us,
Yeah.
need.
And they're not vexed, right? Remember, they're rich. So they're not vexed. We
Wow.
already vexed.
Wow.
Wow. We bums, right?
Wow.
So that means
Wow.
we working, right? Bums. Hey, who's who kind of men are great? That's why we wary. I know the men are great men, so the testimony of being wary worldwide, right? So we work hard, right? And we go through the different afflictions, the fire and the water, right? And we still doing the work. And we still doing it twice times, 3 times, 4 times more than great than IYC.
Because they're pushing Jesus, and the Lord is
Yeah,
not
they're still
that.
good.
If you
always
push
preaching
Jesus,
Caesar.
if you preaching Jesus, the Lord not in that rules.
This is
To
Surah.
begin with, you don't know his name.
This Surah.
So you was
No, they
giving-
know it. They
giving glory to
they
another
choose to
power.
deceive the people and call upon Jesus the Christ. Because they know Jesus the Christ. But we come as austere men, bold. The scripture will say the righteous man as bold as a lion, confident in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Right? The power that the scripture say Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to be known by the judgment by which he executed. I want to know the shot. It's Surah 14:13. Do good unto thy friend before thou die, and according to thy ability stretch out thy hand and give to him.
What they not doing? Read it one more time, Mark.
Surah chapter 14:13. Do good to thy friend before thou die. That's a friend and neighbor, not a brother, right? Brother, yeah. If I'm not mistaken. Right? It says, do good to thy friend before thou die. Hey, brother, friend. Right?
They do it to themselves. They do good to themselves.
No, they just rub their own self. They have the pocket.
Yeah,
They
the
have
pocket,
the
yeah.
They just extort them their own.
Yeah.
And
They are of their father, the devil, and the works of their father that they do. There's devils themselves.
Malcolm, they do within our life, there are 2 brothers testimony about strangers telling them about the difference between we as men of Great Millstone and these other men from Sikari.
Yeah, I think I see that.
Yeah, these men,
They cut it
after
out.
4 minutes, he say, hey, these men have all of cars. He said, where these men get all this money from?
Yeah,
So
you know, they're working nowhere.
yeah, you know, he working nowhere. You understand? Yeah.
Right? Even so, that means they make this one who didn't come outside when I see come and march around in church. Gino, they make Gino Jennings better than themselves. Gino Jennings say what? I have a job. And he just break down the Malachi correct. Kind of man rough God. Like he just breaking down correct somewhat. Right? He said what?
This is Tobit 2 and verse 1 to 2. It says, Now, when I was come home again, and my wife Anna restored unto me with my son Tobias in the feast of Pentecost, which is the holy feast of the 7 weeks, there was a good dinner prepared me, in the which I sat down to eat. And when I saw abundance of meat, I said to my son, Go and bring what poor man soever thou shalt find out of our brethren, who is mindful of the Lord, and lo, I will tarry for thee.
But he came again and said, Father, one of our nation is strangled and cast out in the marketplace. Then, before I had tasted of any meat, I started up and took him up into a room until the going down of the sun. And I returned and washed myself and ate my meat in heaviness. So we know Tobit was going out in the streets as well, looking for those that were killed as well and buried them.
He used to bury them.
Yeah. And look what he doing there. He had abundance of food and he went looking for the poor.
You leave his supper and go on.
Yeah, he eating. Go and send his son, go and bring with a poor man so he can eat with me.
Because the scripture says, arms in the better man.
Yeah, that is spirit.
And we say out of our brethren.
Yeah.
So he was looking for the brethren.
Yeah, he even tell Toby go marry out of the nation.
That like the video I showed with Sakaria, them do a video when they had a Hellcat park up and some men breaking the busting class and going laptop on him. You go and make a video on that for the congregation to donate for that, so you never know what they could make some money breaking yourself.
They make 90-something thousand.
And check
They
it,
make 90-something thousand.
check it 9-some thousand, there's some two laptop. Be real. Be real.
That video
What's the one thing, brothers? We lost in phone, car mashing up, this, that. Look at what that AI laptop, a walking laptop.
Instead of the robot, instead of
A robot.
we should end with donate. Instead of saying donate again.
Yeah, Sakari donate.
That's what they be saying. They listen to their stream where they have it sliding. You know, we just have
Yeah,
the
I
name
mean.
sliding across.
Yeah.
They have it donate
Donate
to this account.
and that account. No, that's basically a business.
The banner, yeah.
Yeah, that's a business. It's a business. The advertising the business.
The brand.
The brand.
The
you
brand.
know, car.
Like as the apostles,
When
there's
they
a
take,
different brand.
can.
Doing a review of the debate between Haka and
Has-
Hassad and Captain Tazaria. Right? It's all about the brand. You understand?
Genesis, eh?
Buy the word and sell it not.
Yeah.
Freely have received, freely you get. Anybody have any last precepts?
Yeah, I've been with a hundred people.
Look at 1 Peter chapter 2. Peter chapter 2, verse 25 says, For you are sheep going astray, but are now returned unto the shepherd and bishop of your souls.
So the true bishop is Yahushua Mashiach. When it's all said and done, the true bishop is Yahushua Mashiach. High priest, King of kings,
Lord of Lords.
Lord of lords.
All the titles are
You know, all the titles you can think about.
even
The emperor.
apostles.
You understand? Is Yahushua. Nate?
Better say him apostle.
Yeah.
I read it in the scripture. He is the apostle. He is the
Chief
apostle.
Right? Chief apostle.
Hebrews
all of them.
1:1.
He was sent.
Hebrews 1:1. Somebody read Hebrews 1:1 real quick.
Book of Hebrews chapter 1 and verse 1, and it reads, For God power, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in times past unto the fathers by the prophets. Verse 2, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds.
Right, so apostle means that he's speaking Hebrews 3 and 1 too. Right, so he's speaking to us all, scattered all abroad, right, by his son, Yahushua. So he's the true apostle.
And we
Hebrews
share
3 and 1.
and the word it was used there, the point heir of all things.
What the Heavenly Father Yahweh said to Yahushua, said thou art my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. Right? And then the kingdom is promised unto him, an everlasting kingdom and dominion forever and forever. Right? So he's the true apostle.
This is the book of Hebrews chapter 3 and verse 1. Wherefore, holy brethren, partakers of the heavenly calling, consider the apostle and high priest of our profession, Yahushua HaMashiach, who was faithful to him that appointed him, was also Moses was faithful in all his house.
So that shows you that he is not the most high. That should show you right there.
He can be faithful to himself.
Right.
And then reward himself.
Yeah. And then to be an apostle, as we got above down, it means it was sent.
Who sent him?
If it has something sent, you have a sender. You can't send yourself.
It only makes sense.
You just go. Yeah, sir? You can't send yourself, you just go.
When you was praying now or two, who you was praying to?
Father, if it's possible, take away this.
Take away, yeah.
Who is sweating as those drops of blood?
He said, now I come to thee, Father, in one of the prayers.
So he was
I come to
tormenting
thee.
his own self?
Yeah.
Come and
What about when the angels took him and brought him
to the angels of days?
you understand?
Daniel,
In the book of Daniel.
even 1 Corinthians 11, they gave the order.
Yeah, so he take himself. I just, yeah, he take himself.
Came for Damara.
I can't explain forgetting that. Because that makes no sense.
You must raise that question to Jesus.
Yeah.
24 on down.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 24, which reads, Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom of power, even the Father.
No, read that again.
Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to power.
To power. So he's going to deliver up the kingdom to the Most High. That's what he's talking about. When it says to power, that is the Most High, and it's going to say, go ahead.
To power, even the Father.
Which is the Father. Even is Old English for which is the Father. Go ahead.
When he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. Reading on, for he must reign till he hath put all enemies under his feet.
Go ahead.
The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death.
Go ahead.
For he hath put all things under his feet.
He put all things under his feet.
But when
He's above all, Yahweh Shai is speaking of, go ahead.
But when he said all things are put under him, it is manifest
Right.
that he is expected.
Accepted.
He is expected.
Accepted.
Accepted.
Yeah.
Accepted.
Okay. He is accepted. So there's an exception in the language. Right? Who is accepted? Go ahead.
Which did put all things under him.
So there is one that put things, all things, under Yahweh Shai. That's the Father.
Yeah, what I said, all power is given unto me.
And simple like when Yahushua made the calmness.
Yeah, he conquered death.
Conquer that, yeah.
Because death, we should talk about the prince and the power of the air, right? Death from the reason of sin is death. You're going to conquer sin. You're going to conquer sin. Well, how he conquered? How he conquered sin? How he conquered sin? How he conquered sin? In this flesh. Because what Paul said, in this flesh, he sinned with it in this flesh.
That's right. And that's how we know we're not in the new covenant.
Exactly.
Because when it is in the new covenant, no sin is going to be dwelling in me. If sin dwelling in the flesh and we have only flesh and the new covenant say no sin, how we could be in it while in this flesh?
Nonsense.
You all know about the new covenant through the scriptures. And the scriptures never describe it as being here in this flesh. The old covenant is about the corruptible body, pressing upon the mind, which upon all things. Pressing upon so that I do things that I do not. Which is sin.
And Apostle Paul said that after Yahweh Shai is dead. Men like to say Yahweh Shai is dead brought us into the new covenant. That's far from the truth. Yahweh Shai's blood basically initiated that new covenant for us to come.
It was the redemption, the price paid, right? For the nation.
He started it because he get a new body.
Yeah.
And he said he come on with healing and
he conquered that first.
Done.
so now it's just for the 141,000 election to get a new body to be fully under the new covenant. We didn't get a new body yet.
divine until
He perfect.
He's the only one in it.
He perfect.
Yes, he only one in it.
He perfect in our body.
I
We're
never seen
gonna meet him like we're gonna see him like he
like he
is.
is, God.
We're gonna
He's a
meet
big
him.
one.
and show you
I know if you see the
change.
movie Chronicles of Narnia when the lion was sacrificed on the stone, and they say they did the really symbols on the stone basically when he come back to life, that basically bringing him back to life and as a refresher. So he saw if you listen to he saw no one. So imagine the Jake's bubble, they put it in the movies for us to see, and Jake's bubble talking about new covenant, and yet you will pay when you get paid morning. And so how can
Oh, you
you
could be
because
like we were breaking it up Sunday, we could bring in the new covenant and calling him Jesus.
Come on. And then the new covenant, when you're in it, you don't have to hope for salvation.
God.
Because the new covenant is known as what? The everlasting covenant. So
All these men showing here clearly is that the mystery is not revealed.
it's
That's
not
right.
revealed to them.
That's
It
right.
flows up from them.
Good.
The new covenant is not something you could be in and then jump out of and then get back into.
They don't know what their motive
It
is.
don't work so.
They don't know what the name is.
What we doing out there? What we doing out there teaching if we are not the new covenant?
Right. With that, the ball plays glory to
Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Rakakadash.
That's how apostles and others are getting the son set to the elect.
Shalom. Shalom to the elect.
Shalom.